Well, hello, everyone. This is Amber Town Geehan, your terrific Tuesday $1 Million Messenger, calling you from the greater Kansas City area. Yes, I am out of town and had the privilege of three fun things where I had the opportunity and was asked to speak at a Vietnam Vet Army Ranger banquet in Las Vegas. So that started my week last week. What a privilege to be around men that were called into the line of duty in a time where it was a very confusing war. But because they did, we have opportunities to live in freedom today. And so very grateful for that opportunity. And then my mom and I left from that Friday morning at 5:30 in the morning and headed to Kansas City for our mother-daughter retreat, where moms that are national sales directors and daughters that are either nationals or sales directors are invited to attend. And this is not a company-sponsored event. It's probably one of my favorite things about it is it is organic. And Autumn Hebel and her mom, Diana, put it on here in Kansas City, and it rotates who's putting it on and where we go. But many of you guys know, if you've been around long, I moved away from Kansas City 5 years ago, and I do believe I lived in Kansas City for 5 years to meet my best friend, Becky Stanley. And so I stayed 2 days over being with her and her husband, and what a joyous time. And I think sometimes we just have to have that emotional reset in life. And so one of the topics of conversation we've been going over is I have some points here, and I think that where I want to go with this is how to stay in your flow and not force. I'm going to say that again. How do you stay in your flow and not force? Sometimes I believe we get so clenchy with our business that we don't even get into action because we're trying to control things. And so how do you stay in your flow? So I'm going to give you, let's see, just a few. Well, I don't even know how many line items. Let's just say 10. If I can remember to give you the number, I will. If not, you're going to have to give me the number. So number one is to start with stillness. So your morning mindset, I know you heard this so many times. Your morning mindset sets your momentum. So whether you are doing the miracle morning where you're journaling, you're doing prayer time, you're doing quiet time, you're doing Bible study, your morning stillness is in your mindset sets your momentum. Number two, prioritize progress over perfection. You know, I oftenly say there's messy action still moves the needle. Imperfect action is better than perfect preparation any day. Imperfect action is better than perfect preparation. So prioritizing progress over perfection. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. And I oftenly say that the only person I know that was perfect, and this is my faith speaking, is he died on the cross. And I truly do not want to die that way. So I'm okay being imperfectly me. All right. Number three, tune in and don't tap out. And I think this is a big one. When it feels heavy, just shift, but don't quit. So tune in and don't tap out. And sometimes when things, we have resistance, we back off, and the compounding momentum of just staying consistent every day, even when you don't see progress, you will start seeing the progress. Number four, follow your energy. You're most magnetic when you I would say light from within. So follow your energy. Sometimes you have to trust that in your intuition that maybe you're supposed to talk to that person. Maybe you're supposed to call that person and they're not on your list, but you do it anyways. And I think we're at number 5 now. Time block your power hours. And this is something for me that I absolutely have to do because I know when I'm in my best energy and my best focus time. So I have to time block, and I even set an egg timer to help myself hear that I'm in a focus time. Not a timer on my phone because I can't hear the tick, 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 tick. I want to hear the tick, 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 tick because it tells me I'm in a focus time for this selected thing that I've decided. So but protect your peak energy time for your most important activities like bookings, follow-ups, coaching, things like that. Protect it and set a timer that that's the only thing you do during that time is you're working on booking calls, you're working on follow-up calls, whatever it is, but set a timer and stay focused. Number 6, I think, move your body. Even a 10-minute walk can reset your nervous system and get your creative flow going again. And I would say I call it gratitude walk, where when I feel like I'm clengy or I'm trying to control things, is I'll just put on my shoes and I'll go on a little walk and I speak everything out loud that I'm grateful for. That I'm grateful I can smell that horse poo. I'm grateful I can hear those dogs barking. I'm grateful I can see the sky. I'm grateful I can feel the earth. And so I just go through everything I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for my kids. And I just keep speaking gratitude to get me back in that posture. And sometimes it might be that I do a 20-minute close my eyes reset. So move your body or rest your body to reset. And I think I'm on number 7. Celebrate micro wins. And I think this is so vitally important in this career where you are a self-employed person, you're an independent contractor, that you celebrate your little wins. What was your goal today? Are you doing 30 reach outs in a day? Are you doing 56 reach outs a day? When you hit it, celebrate. What does that look like? Maybe you get to read your book for an hour. I don't know what your celebration would be, but find something that celebrates it. So celebrate micro wins. Even small wins build momentum. Track them and feel them. And I think we're on number 8. Unplug to recharge. Reset. Rest in your productivity. Silence is strategic. Don't be afraid to step back so you can leap forward. And that really has been the last 7 days for me, as I was doing a reset and I knew I was strategically doing it, and I had the opportunity to be at different things that was going to cause self-reflection, cause calmness, and cause rest. So unplug to recharge. And I really don't know what number we're on now, but we're going to go on to the next number. It might be 7, might be 8. And I know it's driving some of you guys crazy, but there you go. Limit your tabs mentally and digitally. And this is multitasking is an absolute myth. Absolute myth. Focus brings flow. When you multitask, you actually lower your IQ by 10 points. When you lower your IQ by 10 points, it doesn't sound dramatic, but it is operating as if you have not slept in the last 36 hours. Nobody is meant to multitask and be productive. There are things you can do simultaneously that do not cross your brain channels, like chew gum and walk. You can fold clothes and talk to somebody because the brain channels do not cross. But if you truly want to be effective, you will learn that focus brings flow. Singular focus brings flow. I think we're on number 8 now. I don't know, 9, 10, maybe 12. Check in before you check out. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do right now that keeps me aligned with my goal? Before you check out, what's the one thing you can do right this moment that aligns with your goal, and do it? And number 10 or 12, whatever it is. I think it's 12. I think I had 12 and not 10 tips. Say no to stay in the flow. And I learned this so well from my mom, that no is a complete sentence, but protect your yeses by being fierce with your boundaries. Know your yeses and know your nos before you have to say them, because flattery feels so good. Flattery feels good because somebody wants to give you responsibility because you're someone who is a responsible person. That feels good. But does that align with your goals for your faith, for your family, or for your business? And for me, if it does not align with those 3 things, first you have to be clear on what those goals are. But if it does not align with those 3 things, it is a hard no. And I'm okay missing out because I'm clear on what my yeses are. So either way, hopefully this was a blessing for you today. Hopefully it rattles your cage a bit. But I will be heading home today. So please pray for safe travels for me as I go back to Arizona. I've been missing my kids like crazy. Actually, I've been missing my dog a little bit more. I'm just kidding. Well, no, not really kidding. If you have a dog, you understand what I just said. I do love my kids, and I did miss them too. But either way, I hope this was a blessing for you today. This is Amber Geehan, your Terrific Tuesday $1 Million Messenger, signing off. Have a blessed day.